Hello, my name is James Landis. I go by Brad. So you might see me referred to as Brad on as I refer to myself or other people. But in the course, I guess my official tag is under James Landis. A little bit about myself. Again, my name is James Landis, but I go by Bradley. Feel free to call me that. I'm a teacher at Manheim Township High School. Teach health and phys ed, um, which includes a blended health class that I've been working from for about 3 years now, and an online phys ed class that we use mostly for our athletes or students that have a full schedule and still need their phys ed requirement. I received a master's from Millersville in sports management with an athletic director's emphasis. I just keep that in my back pocket for something maybe that I'll use later in my career, but do not foresee myself using that degree anytime soon. I absolutely love what I'm doing. I tell my students and everybody that I've never been to a day of work in my life because I don't consider this work. I consider it living. Wife named Sarah. She's due with baby boy number two. And I saw another student in the class is also going to be having a child in May, so congrats to him. 2-year-old son right now, Jonah. His hobbies include Lego Duplo blocks and anything that has to do with tractors, construction, vehicles, blinking lights, things like that. He's a great age right now. Very proud of who he is. Hobbies include camping, live music, and microbrews, preferably all at the same time. That is a great time to me, and that's what I really enjoy doing. My online experiences include classes at Millersville University and attending classes at Millersville for this course, this certificate, and also my master's in sports management. Currently, I'm teaching again blended health courses at Manheim Township in a computer lab, so it's kind of like part lecture face to face and part online. Right now, running through Moodle, but we are transitioning into Google Classroom. The first part, good teaching is teaching, good teaching, whether it's online or brick and mortar. It kind of made me laugh. I wasn't thrilled with the article, to be honest. I do agree overall teaching is teaching. The outcomes are the same. That's what you want, but the process is different. For example, seeing expressions as opposed to hearing them. He talked about hearing the gasp of them getting something. Uh, that's the same as seeing in expressions, but that doesn't do it for me. Is hearing them. I'd like to see their face. I like to see their body language. I like to have that interaction. But regardless, teaching is creating relationships with students regardless of distance, whether you're standing face to face or throughout the internet. But you're still creating uh, relationships. My problem is people can be one thing online in a different way face to face. So who are you really getting to know? The things that I'm not buying the more students than brick and mortar schools. The fact that he teaches more students, you can get to more students through online than brick and mortar. He just threw that number out there. I don't know if they're alternative facts, but I'd like to see his numbers. I'm currently teaching 180 students, and I'm packed. I wouldn't want any more than that. Otherwise, you're not creating those lasting impressions, and kids get lost in the shuffle. So if that's what he likes, then that's not what I like. I also laughed when he discussed the difference in how creating groups between online and in the classroom. Thought that was completely over dramatic. I don't have when I have my kids create groups, it's not that big of a deal. They don't pick up desks. It's not an issue. I just thought that was funny. So those are my thoughts on that. But again, I agree. Good teaching is good teaching, uh, but that article was a little, I thought, a little over dramatic in general. Which challenges of teaching online do I want to learn about? My interest is mostly about student issues. I don't believe it takes any more time to plan for an online course than a regular classroom. Uh, I'm technologically savvy, and I work just as hard in my face-to-face classes as I do in my online. No more, no less in either one. The work is different, but you know the decision making. I make the same decisions online as I do face to face, and vice versa. So I'm not buying that. You put time into both equally. Um, I do agree that it was important to have control over the course and the material and the setup. I have complete control, so that's not an issue for me. Uh, I'm hitting all my standards, and I can set it up and do whatever I want. Uh, Depending on the end of the semester surveys that I get back on what different uh, technology the students like. Um, so I find that very useful. So I'm always kind of upgrading, but once I upgrade it's good to go. The hardest part for me is to keep double checking to make sure the links still work. Um, but I enjoy doing that. That's research on my part. But I would also would be researching information in my own classroom, face to face. So my interest is mostly about the student issues. I find that teaching online, they either do it or they don't. There's really no in between. They're either completely motivated or they're forced into an online class which they don't want to be at, and they don't do anything at all, and then they fail. They You do have to be self motivated and engaged to be successful. Um, and I'm finding that no matter how accessible I make myself, um, kids just struggle to reach out and make the effort to meet you at your office to discuss issues. So, I use the Remind app, and, kids don't even sign up for that. They don't use my email. They don't walk down to my office. They just do not. The kids that don't have the motivation just will not seek you out, no matter how easy you make it. So, I think that online is not for everybody. Online is for kids that want to be there, and I don't think kids should be forced into taking the class, which in some cases we do here at my school, and those kids just aren't successful because they're stubborn. What are my hopes? My hopes for online teaching: I hope to learn how not to lose touch with students. Again, that's why I got into this. Uh, I love computers. I love technology. I love using technology with students. I'm more of a blended teacher, but I don't think I ever want to be a completely online teacher. I enjoy getting to know the backstories and what makes them passionate, what they like. I like talking to them about if they're athletes or if they're dancers or if they're, I just like to find different things that I like to connect. I like seeing their face when somebody walks in and I say, "Hey, I like that shirt," or that those connections. I just don't think you get that online. I like seeing, I guess I like being person to person. I hope districts come up with more ways to eliminate barriers for all students to have access to technology. Again, that's another one. There's some kids out there that want to do it but just can't afford it. They don't. There's different barriers, and I like to see districts. I hope that either federally or statewide, we come up with better ways to eliminate those barriers. I know here at Township, next year we are going 1-to-1. Every single kid at the high school is getting an iPad. So again, that's great news for me. Um, what qualities do I have that I want to share? Yeah, I love to stay current with technology. Like I said, I love to use the current software. Love to incorporate current news events and information in the health field, whether social, mental, or physical. And I get by the time we get a textbook and certain the anatomy will never change, but mental, social issues, that stuff is always changing. By the time we get a health book, all that stuff is really outdated. So that's when I really tend to use technology to keep current. For the last one, as for the standards, I felt like K-12 connections and Carpe Diem, they all discuss custom education, personalized and individual learning plans developed with teachers, and that has a direct connection to Standard F. As for Standard J, I also think that just K-12 really mentioned cooperating with parents to improve learning. The other ones, didn't really, they were so short, 30, 40 seconds. I just felt like they were the big messages. Um, Connections also mentioned that, we want to educate or develop the whole child, create students growing socially and having fun. It was just, that's fluff. It does not fit within the standards. So, I guess it's just kind of, again, presenting some positive things, but that was irrelevant in connection with the standards. So that's my overall review. I look forward to taking this class and seeing your faces, hearing your voices. Um, it's been a blast so far in this course, and I continue. I hope to it continues to be that way. Thanks.